Hello everyone, Drudge here. Today I'm going to be bringing you the skill farming. Now this skill is actually a decent amount complex, but it's also kind of basic at the same time. Now if you watched my previous video on, what was it, fishing, you'll actually be able to see a farming lot in the background. But for now I'm going to show you where to start out. You'll just head up here. Very small plot to start, and it's actually just a small potato patch. Right here, you can talk to this guy, or you can get some seeds off of him. As you can see, he actually does carry a decent amount of the stuff that you'll need. Um, but the biggest thing you'll need is you'll need a watering can, maybe some compost and some buckets, but the seeds, of course, because you can't do anything without the seeds. If you want to, you can get into the more of the complex items, which is like the amulet of farming, which helps you keep track of your farming plots. You got your plant cure, which if your plants get diseased, you can actually use that to cure them of the disease, and then they'll go back into the growing ratio. But for now, I'll get the seeds here. Only got the one, but okay. Most of the tools are already on your tool belt except for the watering can. But all you'll want to do is you got to rake the weeds out of the patch. If you got compost, this is when you use it. You'll use the compost on that by just selecting with the left click and putting it in. Now there I took the seeds, I clicked them, put them in. Now if I had a watering can, as you can see, I can water it, and it only allows you to water it once per stage. So until the water is all used up, it won't let you do anything with it. And that's actually it for watering. Now, the weeds, to start out, if you want to, you can actually take them and put them into these bins here. This will actually help you be able to make your own compost instead of constantly buying compost. So that's actually a very good way to do it. Now this is just a very small patch. I will show you a bigger patch here in just a bit when my guy teleports. Now while it is just right over this mountain range, it is just a little bit faster just to teleport right on over. Now from the lodestone, all you gotta do is run northwest. Right here is another shop that'll sell you more stuff. Now as you can see, I actually have dead cabbages, dead herbs, and I don't have a flower patch planted yet. Now okay, what's the point of a flower patch? The point of a flower patch is not only to get maybe secondary ingredients to, well, for your herb lore, but there's also some flower patch items that if you let them stay there will protect your other plants from diseases, which odds are that is what these died from. They either died from disease or dehydration. Now, is there a way to know if your stuff is going to get diseased or dehydrated in advance? No. All it is at the end of that growth stage, it'll either grow to the next stage, it'll become diseased, and if it's diseased, and if you don't treat it within that stage, usually the next stage, it dies. But if you maintain it, and if you get it to go the whole way up, you can actually get your supplies. Now, farming, while it's not overly complex, there is actually a lot to it. Now, this is the produce patches. There is hops patches, there is flower patches, like I just said about. You have your herb patches, which I accidentally let die. But there's also trees and fruit trees. Now I'll show you a fruit tree patch because these are some of the best things you can get for XP. Though they do take a long time. And like back there, you can pay a farmer to keep after it so none of that happens. Like I can pay her, but see the thing of it is you don't pay her with gold. That would make it way too easy. But let's say I'm growing, I believe it is the oh, papaya trees that require pineapples for the payment. So it takes like 30 pineapples to pay her to watch after this. I'm going to clear this out. As you can see here, I can also inspect it. There's nothing going on. I can right click to go into the guide for it. As you can see, we got trees. This will show the fruit trees and the regular trees. You can see there's a good amount, but that's your best XP right there. You got some special plants. Others, which is like kind of like your mini games and stuff. Well, that's about actually all it is almost. Dungeoneering, of course. But as you can see, there's a decent amount to it. There is the benefit of growing food, because you can actually get stuff to make more complex recipes, which gives you better food. So it can be worth it. Right now, though, there doesn't seem to be a huge thing for it other than two factors. I hate saying only maybe two real uses, and I've been saying that a lot for some of these skills lately, but one of the big things for this skill is if you're in the Elven City, you can go to this one area where you can plant this moss seed, and it'll grow along these statues, monoliths. I forget exactly what they're called. And as you gain XP in that skill, they grow. And once you reach the XP it requires, you can go and harvest it, and it's a very rare component used for some very high level potions. So it can be worth it. There is maybe a few more things, but that's I think that's the main thing for it. Other than maybe growing some secondaries, but like I said, unfortunately, there's not too much for it. I mean, a big thing, I guess you could say for some people, is just the fact that you can grow herbs here. And if you actually go into your thieving skill, if you go into everything, you'll be able to see some of the stuff you can pickpocket, and some of them are farmers. So now the regular farmer, not really a big deal. It's the master farmer you really want to be able to loot from, because they can give you a lot of seeds very quickly. Not to mention that is all you will get from them is seeds. So that's about it for this video. I know it's not very complex, but it's very basic. So the basic way to get your seeds is either through stealing them, which there's also stalls. I'll show you one of those real quick then. Um, but there's also pickpocketing them. There is just from regular monster drops. And there's also a quest called Throne of Miscellanea, which you can just set it so your subjects will gather the seeds. Now I'm going to show you in Draenor. If you remember correctly, this is the city that is west of Lumbridge, but if you follow the road north, it'll lead you right to it. If you go to this little tiny town, you can follow the road south, and as you follow it south, just follow your compass here a little bit. You'll want to head west. Once you head into west, you'll be into a small little market. And in here, this is where you'll find, right there's a master farmer. You could trade with him, but he apparently doesn't have any seeds left to sell. You can trade with her. She will have some seeds for you that you can buy, including your hops. There's a master farmer right there you can pick pocket from, and right there is a seed stall. So if you go to the side of it, Go out around the back. Not high enough level to steal it yet, so as you can see, takes 27 in thieving to steal from the stalls. So that is actually going to do it for this guide. There's not really too much to the farming skill, but yet again, there is a decent amount of uses for it. It just might take some time to actually see the full benefit of the skill. Alright, but that'll do it for this video. I hope you got to learn a little bit. I hope you liked this video. If you did like the video, please leave a like down below. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.